Hello students, let's read the problem. And it says, what is the correct factorization of 3x squared minus 12? So we're looking for the correct factorization, right? So what does that mean? Well, it means that I need to find the factors for my quadratic function, right? So let's go ahead and write it down over here. Let's start with my function. And I do recognize that I can actually factor one of the, like a number from them, right? In other words, there's a number that can actually be multiplied that will give me a 3 and a 12. Is that right? So that's the first thing we got to do, okay? So what is the factor for 3 and 12? If you say, well, miss, I don't know what you're talking about, then we'll do it right here, okay? So I'm going to separate my coefficient and my variable, right? So I have 3 and x squared, okay? And then this will be x times x, and that's it. That's my prime factorization, right? Now 12, I'm going to just multiply 3 times 4 to give me a 12. And I'm going to leave it alone. I'm not going to go to 4, break it into 2 times 2, because right now I want you to see that both of them share a 3. So this is one way that it can help you find your greatest common factor, right? So 3 is going to become my common factor for the two terms. And inside the parentheses, I ended up with x squared minus 4. Now I can recognize that inside the parentheses is what we call the difference of two perfect squares, right? Okay, if you remember that rule, maybe that can help you eliminate a lot of the problems of what do I do next, right? So I do see the minus, and I recognize that x squared and 4 are actually perfect squares. Is that right? So I'm going to ask you to find the square root of x squared, and that will be x. The square root of 4 is actually a positive or negative 2, right? Because 2 times 2 is 4. So guess what? Those are going to be the components for my factors. Very good. So let's write them down. So I'm going to have the 3. And now my first factor is going to be x plus 2. My second factor is going to be x minus 2. Okay, so that will be my factorization, right? So let's look at the answer choices. And I can see that letter A cannot be correct because both of them are plus 2 and plus 2. And no, I have a plus 2 and a minus 2. Letter B has a minus 6, so no, that's out of the question. Letter C, I can see that as my answer, right? And I can recognize also that D cannot be an answer because it has a 4 times 3. Okay, so that's not part of my answer. So yeah, my answer should be letter C.